Hello everybody, welcome back to the Saints channel on this beautiful Tuesday evening. I'm your host Theo, known as the Holy One. Today I'm joined by Gabriel, and we have a nice League of Legends match on our hands. We have our Saints taking on Maryville University. It's going to be a very fun matchup. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling really good. We just got the patch notes coming through. I read through them a little bit. They are, to say the least, interesting, but it is the patch right after the Worlds patch, so by default, Riot kind of just takes a big huff of something and then changes everything because they love doing that after the Worlds patch, right? Because it's the new split and whatnot. So it's going to be interesting to see how the players kind of adapt to that new patch and how they play around it.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a big patch, and you know it's going to be fun to watch before Worlds. But speaking of fun to watch, we have a new player on one of our teams. Let's bring in here for the interview, and just introduce yourself to the newer fans here as your new player.
I'm Jojo. I'm 18. And yeah, that's it.
Fair enough. Brief and direct. So, I'm assuming you saw the patch notes. I'm going to start with the questioning of what do you think about the patch notes?
I actually didn't read it.
You didn't read the patch
No,
notes.
it's too
Okay,
big.
we're going in blind, boys.
Too big.
It is very big, to be honest. I started reading it about 10 minutes ago, and I'm still not done. It is very large. But they basically nerfed so many things that everybody just has this tiny bit more health, and then everybody's like, yeah, okay, you don't get AD, you don't get resistances, you don't get AP, so they basically got rid of most of the damage and gave you a little bit of health to make up for it. Oh yeah, and everything's more expensive because Riot likes taking your money if we hadn't seen anything for the $500 skin. So what are your thoughts on like champions you want to play today?
Probably what I'm feeling, you know. It kind of depends what enemy team picks.
Fair enough,
Yeah,
fair
I'm
enough.
down to play anything.
Down for anything. All right, you know what? That means you're adaptive. You got anything?
Yeah, I mean, you're young, new to the team. How do you feel you've adapted to changing into the competitive game plan, like playing with a team, scrimming all week round, and just playing important matches?
I think scrimming, we scrim a lot, so it's not easy, but I like my team, so it's fun to play.
Good. And, you know, big expectations for this season. How would you say you're gluing together as a team so far?
We have ups and downs, but we're doing our best.
I mean, absolutely. You guys will definitely improve on the year. We're going to let you go to your game. We don't want to hold you here too long, but thank you for coming on the desk. It's a pleasure to have you, and good luck today in your match.
Thank you.
All right. So that's that. Meet our new players all around here on the Saints. That was fun to have Flocon showing out there. And it's going to be a very, very tough matchup today against Maryville, one of the stronger teams.
One of the big names, yeah.
Yeah, one of the big names. Our Saints also one of the big names. So it should be just a old-fashioned brawl here, and I'm expecting to see all three games today.
Yeah, so the brawl is going to be interesting because we saw Flocon on the Smolder on the first the first series we played, and then we saw him kind of flexing a few different champions. And then the best part was when he just locked in the Akali on game 3 and everybody just plowed through. That was one of the best ones. But it really just shows adaptability, right? And that's really something that's important, mainly when you're going into a new patch blind, or relatively so, because when you're looking at the items, just generally speaking, I went over it, but going a little bit more into detail, everything's more expensive, okay? Like, name an item, it's probably more expensive now. And they decrease the amount that you receive. So, like, assassin items, usually it's a decrease by 5 or 10 AD. Same for bruiser items, although bruiser items got a buff to their HP that they give you. It's like 50 or 150. It's nothing much. Divine Sunderer heals you for less. Oh yeah, assassin items also have less lethality. They boosted the price of collector up, okay, by 200 gold. That's like a lot of waves. Well, okay, it's not that much, but like it's a lot of gold. It's 2/3 of a kill, and they decrease your lethality by 2. That's not a good deal. I would not take that deal. Anyways, so yeah, the patch is going to be very interesting to play into. Just see how they adapt to how the new items, like which ones are obsolete, which ones are not. ADCs have less movement speed now in their items. I remember Phantom Dancer having like 12, and now it's, I think it was 9 or 8 in the patch notes, which is absolutely horrible. I can't do my movement speed Jhin build anymore. So I am crying. But what do you expect to see?
I don't know. I think Saints usually they spice the draft up sometimes. As you said, the Akali came out. You can always rely on Ricky to play something up in that top lane like Olaf or Darius. So there's always going to be a little bit of spice in the game. We saw them like 5-man dive a bot lane tier 1 turret. It did not go well.
No, it didn't.
But they did try it. So they maybe have some wacky strategies picked out for us today. And it's going to be interesting against Maryville. I think they have to take every trick out of the book they have.
Yeah, well, okay, maybe not every trick, but most, right? If you take every trick out, then you're left with nothing. So you got to make sure the bag still has something. I mean, it's only match 3. But they will need to pull out some stops, and maybe, honestly, if they've been cooking enough during, like, the pregame, and, like, they've been testing out the stuff in the training range and whatever, well, training range, it's not really... I don't even remember what it's called. The practice tool. Yeah, if they've been testing stuff out in the practice tool, seeing what it does, the definitions of what the items do haven't changed, right? They still do the same thing. We don't have any new items or anything like that. So at the end of the day, you're still dealing with the same items. They're just pretty much all nerfed. What I'm excited to see is if we're going to see tanks coming out. Because although the resistances have been decreased and gold values have increased, the flat damage is still not too bad. So tanks aren't going to deal as much damage, but they are going to be a little bit more of a health wall. So the Bork is going to be a priority if we see those.
Absolutely, I have to agree with you. So we're going to have to see what items come out today. But with that being said, we're going to throw it to a very, very quick break. Our players are just getting to get into draft. So we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. I'll be back with Game 1. Welcome back, everybody. We are just getting into Draft 1. St. Clair Saints on the blue side, Maryville University on the red side. A couple of bans already coming through. The Rumble and Garen going to be banned by the Saints, and Maryville going to ban out the Senna and Garner.
Yep, Senna is an interesting character to ban out, given the fact that Riot kind of gave her an identity crisis in the recent patches. Kind of saying, maybe she's an enchanter, maybe she's not. So it is weird to see her being banned out again, but to be fair, fasting Senna is always a viable option, at least with the current soul rate. Ivern being banned out on the side of the Saints, so we're not going to be seeing too much stealing or weird jungle pathing, at least for this one. Let's see what Maryville responds with.
Yeah, Maryville thinking about this one, and it's going to be Vladimir banned out. Not something the Saints really play, so I'm kind of interested by that ban, but...
Yeah, it is a really weird ban to pick up, honestly. It seems more like a fear ban. Here, Saints picking up the Varus instantly. First lock. Being the EDC is a little bit interesting. It leaves you a lot of options for your solo lanes and for your junglers. Doesn't show your hand too much. No, I thought Jin or Ziggs. It is going to be the Jin locked in for Maryville. Jin into Varus isn't a too bad of a matchup. You just gotta poke a lot early game. And then the Yone going to be picked up. Yone, a very good flex. You can play it mid, you can play it top. If you're insane, you can play it bot too, but I don't do that. So yeah, here probably going to be a mid lane. Yone, just a very versatile champion. Good airborne, so good CC, too many dashes, and I mean just all around horribly but well-rounded character to pick. The Sejuani seems to be hovered and is going to be locked in by the Saints for that jungle, and then the Rel being a follow-up, going to support that Varus in the bot lane. Going to give a lot of engage opportunities, going to kind of make some space, maybe take a little bit of damage, because that Jin is going to be dealing a lot of it, mainly in that early game. The Alistar going to be picked up too, just to kind of play into that Rel. The Rel is a very menacing champion to go up against, so having that headbutt available is always nice to have. On to the bans though. Sylas going to be the first one.
Yeah, Sylas going to be banned out by Maryville. Now Saints look to find something they want to ban out themselves. Top laner on the other side has not chosen yet, so you think that's what they're going to target here. Jungler hasn't been picked either, but I think they're more worried about banning out some key things they don't want to see in the top lane. And there's a Rise ban. Spicy ban.
Rise is a spicy ban, considering the fact that they've already picked their what seems to be their mid laner, although it could be a Yone top. If they think it's a Yone top, the Rise ban makes sense, and considering they're banning the brand, I think that it is going to be a Yone top, unless, of course, it is flexed. And then the Akali going to be picked up by Maryville, which makes sense. I mean, the last time we saw the Akali, it went pretty darn well. So the Amumu going to be picked up in the jungle, just an absolute pillar of CC, going to make that Varus' life very, very difficult. But again, he does have the Sejuani, he does have the Rel to peel for him. So we're seeing a lot of tanks, but in terms of dive, the Yone is going to be the main threat to Varus, right?
Absolutely.
Although here, the Saints are going to have to pick up something that'll be able to support them. That Gragas is a perfect pick, allows you to make some incredible space for your ADC if you want to protect him, or if you want to go a little crazy, you can go for the full one-shot, full AP Gragas build and nuke somebody. Although here, last pick is going to have to be that mid lane, unless it's Gragas mid, but I would be surprised.
Yasuo.
So, I mean, okay, Yasuo, yeah, there's three airborns. I could see it, but ooh, wait a minute, the Viego mid? Okay, so either it's a Viego mid, or it's a Sejuani support Rel jungle.
I don't know.
Maybe. I'm not sure. Anyways, top lane here, we're hovering the Cassante, we're hovering the Aatrox. Aatrox hasn't been touched this patch, so he should be pretty interesting. The Nasus. the NACE. Ooh, that's a pick. Maybe the Udyr? Udyr's going to be locked in. Okay, Udyr's a cheese pick top. It's so annoying to deal with him. But it is, I mean, it is a pick you can pick. It is what it is. So dealing with the Udyr top into the Gragas is going to be a little bit rough. It is a very limited interaction. They're both champions that don't really like to interact with their lane opponent and just kind of poke using their abilities. So very, very sustainable top. I don't see any top duels that are really going to result in a kill. Maybe like the junglers are going to die when they meet up top, but aside from that, no real kill potential on the top side. The bot side is where all the action is going to be. That Jhin into Varus is going to be a very interesting pick, because either you have the on-hit Varus or you have the lethality Varus. I don't really see an AP Varus coming out here. If you have the AP Varus, or the lethality Varus coming out, you're going to be centered around poke. That early laning phase is going to be a lot more comfortable into the Jhin. But your late game, not so much, considering you're dealing with a Yone who has a lot of lifesteal, an Alistar who's, I mean, he can take an arrow, that's not too bad, and just kind of the rest of the team, it's going to be a lot harder. But if you're going for that on-hit slash attack speed, you're going to be dealing a whole lot more damage, you're going to be able to stretch through those tanks significantly faster. On the flip side, Jhin only has one build, and that's full crit with AD. I mean, he doesn't really change. It's Jhin. He counts to 4 and people die. So he's going to want to pressure as much as possible in that early lane to get ahead and try and be able to get some kills and snowball, because that's what Jhin does, right? He gets ahead and then snowballs, unless you're playing movement speed Jhin like I do, upon which point, I mean, I zoom. But that's about all I do. What are your thoughts on this draft?
It's two very interesting drafts. Saints, I don't know, they cooked up something crazy, but that Viego is definitely going to be the center of their comp. They're going to look to find an opening pick onto maybe the Amumu even, because Amumu has no way of going out if Amumu gets hit by 1 CC, and
that
you can
true.
one-shot the Amumu, take it as Viego, and then teamfight rolls on from there. But it's going to be all on that first pick. If Saints are the ones to pick the first person off in the teamfights, get a Viego reset, should go their way. But if anything other than that happens, it's going to be really hard for them to win fights.
Yeah, that is true. That Viego is really weird. Like, all the rest of the team composition made sense, and then the Viego showed up, and it was like, okay, where's everybody going now? Because Rel Jungle used to be a thing. I don't know if it still is. Like, I'm pretty sure all the ratios have gotten, like, nerfed completely. So I'm still thinking, okay, that Rel is support. So now it's between, are we seeing a Sejuani mid or a Viego mid? Most likely a Viego mid. But Viego
could be AP Sejuani mid. I mean,
AP Sejuani mid.
I've seen some things.
Oh boy. Okay, so assuming it's AP Sejuani mid,
Could be.
you've got a relatively tanky mage, who is melee.
Yeah.
You know, there aren't many of those, but they exist.
They exist.
Who has some pretty decent ratios, a solid amount of CC, but in terms of damage, like semi-sustained, you're kind of low. So if you're going with a lethality Varus, that's no way, shape, or form happening.
No good.
So you'd have to have that Viego mid if you're going for a lethality Varus, because at least this way the Viego can just constantly lay down that pressure, lay down that damage in the team fight. But just like looking at this, the draft just like. The Saints were cooking something, and then the Viego came out, and it's like either they burnt what they were cooking, or they just perfectly took it off the grill before it burnt. Because that Viego is going to make or break the draft. Like, what is he doing there?
I don't know.
It just, oh god, I don't know how this is going to play out. This is the first time I've just seen a random Viego picked. Like, I'm pretty sure Maryville is just kind of confused too. They're like, okay,
They're confused.
what the Viego doing? What's he doing there? He shouldn't be there. The Yone is like, because the Yone is either going to, light bulb. If it is, because, okay, let's think like real quickly, right? Yone is really annoying to lane into. I think everybody agrees with that, right? Maybe they picked either the Viego or the Sejuani mid to kind of counter that fact that it's really annoying. Does Viego have a lot of lifesteal? I don't know. I've never played him. Like, does he like?
Not really.
Not really. Yeah.
No.
Okay. So if he doesn't heal a lot, maybe we're looking at like a Sejuani mid with like Dorn's shield. Yeah, Doran's Shield, Second Wind, and like cookies or something like that, and just full on like, yeah, I'm just gonna stay in lane and do nothing, and then farm up a little bit. Like that's a possibility, and then it's just a tank, which tank mids aren't as uncommon as usual. I mean, Garen mid is a thing. Somehow, I don't know why, but let's see here. Okay, so the picks are Sejuani is in the jungle, and that is a Viego mid. Okay, so Viego mid into the Yone. That's going to be interesting. Have you like ever seen a matchup like that play out?
I mean, they picked it into Yone, so it has to be Viego favored, I'd assume.
Fair.
Viego's pretty strong early game, probably a little bit too underrated in the early game, but he's just not a very strong laner. There's a reason why he doesn't get played in the lanes that often, but it's a niche pick from Flowcon. And it's gonna be interesting. Viego mid into Yone. I mean, Viego doesn't have any mana, same as Yone, so
that is true.
Neither of them need to really recall for mana problems. But I feel like because of that, Viego pick the skirmishes with Sejuani in the early game are going to be very, very strong with that Sejuani passive. If they can just get a kill, get a reset, especially early game. I mean, I think they're going to look to fight for either Dragon or Grubs like very, very aggressively.
That is true, because Sejuani shares her resistances, right? So what you can do is you can kind of get like, okay, you know what? We're going to get Viego, we're going to get Sejuani, we're going to go for, like, not even Grub, like even Scuttle Crab, right? They're going to both pull up, and then it's like, okay, you know what? We just have better resistances than you. So either you take this fight, and it's a 2v2, and we start the fight for like 2.5 seconds with just straight up taking less damage than you, or you give us the Scuttle. And between you and me, the most important camp in the jungle is the Scuttle. So yeah, that could definitely translate into a free kill. I'm starting to see the synergies. Okay. Yeah, you're like enlightening me.
I think into Viego, because they're both into Yone, because they're both melee. It's a bit more playable. I think into like a ranged mage mid, you can't really
that'd
play
be unplayable.
Viego. So I think they maybe had like a niche pick ready for the Viego Maryville.
And that's why they banned the rise in the brand. Yeah, that makes sense.
And then now that they have the matchup they want, and you know, we'll have to see if Maryville are going to be ready to adapt.
Yeah, that's honestly, that's fair enough. That could make sense. I can see that. The other thing is though, finally, good damage split. That's something that we saw the first. I think it was the first split, or not split. The first matchup that we had. It was two fully decomps that the Saints went up against. But this time we have a very, very clean split between AD and AP, which is nice, right? You've got that Udyr that's dealing that AP damage. You've got the Yone, who's clearly your adaptive AD AP, although a little bit more sided towards the AD. You've got that Jhin, who's 100% AD, and then you've got your tanks, which are mostly AP. But speaking of tanks, I finished reading the patch notes. The tanks are actually the least nerfed ones. They did take a little bit of a hit. For example, Bami's Cinder doesn't scale as well anymore with health. So your tanks are going to be dealing a whole lot less damage. But their resistances got nerfed too. So you kind of have this squishier tank, and then you've got squishier characters, right? Because they have a little bit more health, but everything else, like resistances, got nerfed. Same for movement speed. So your ADCs aren't going to be moving as fast. The attack speed's still the same, which, by the way, daggers are now 250 gold, no longer 300. Fairy Charms for enchanters are 200 gold, now being the cheapest items on the shop. So it's going to be very, very, very cheap to get those first items. Like, you can die, as long as you have 250 gold in your inventory, you're coming back with something. I mean, at this point, boots are the expensive item, which is insane. But let's see how this one plays out. I think we're looking at an invade here from the side of the Saints.
Yeah, there's going to 5-man stack bot. I don't think Maryville will be falling for this one. You can see the Jhin walking up into that bush, but there's absolutely no reason to check down here. Saints gonna walk through here, see nobody from Maryville decide to come here. The Jhin is on his lonesome. Miracle has that flash ready. Jhin is still in that bush. Do they spot him out? They do. Let's see if Miracle decides to use his flash here to get on top of this one. The support is here from Maryville. Saints looking for something. Can they find the Jhin here? It looks like they're gonna let it go. Don't want to waste anything here. Flowcon has to be careful. Takes a little bit of poke. But at the end of the day, nothing gonna happen. A nice little ward from Amumu on the blue buff there, so they're gonna know when Maddie's up in that top side of the map. But other than that, not too much happening here in the early game.
Yeah, so it was an interesting thing to see them attempt that invade. The ward is cleared out. Ooh.
That's not good for them. The fight's going to come out. Zyko finds the knock up onto Lig, but does not get the stun. So the flash on Alistar is gone immediately, but it's going to be traded for the HPs here. Matty going to get bullied out of his own jungle. Can't even start on a camp. This Udyr is very, very far in there. And he is the top laner, so he has the ability to do that. Hex Flash coming out down there in the ball lane. Alistar gonna go in on the Miracle, forced to flash, and goes down. There's first blood going over to Maryville.
Yeah, although the first blood did go to the support, that Jhin Alistar lane is very oppressive. So I am not surprised that the Saints lose that matchup pretty quickly. Here, the Udyr into the Gragas is a pretty rough lane, although...
Solo kill comes out.
That was an interesting flash. The flash to dodge the auto, because they can't Bluetooth when you're melee. That was interesting.
Yeah, it was a nice play, and now really quickly, Maryville, 1,000 gold lead at 2 minutes into the game.
Yep, 1,000 gold lead, and here in the mid lane, it's really interesting to see how they play this one. It's like, it's just the Viego stabbing through the wave, which gives them a relatively good push. And here, yeah, you can see that bot lane. The wave is stacking so much that it is just going to be a pain in the butt to deal with. They can't clear it fast enough because Jhin just has relatively decent wave clear, and they can't throw their abilities too quickly, because if they do, then they give an opportunity to engage and lose even more. But here, just generally speaking, the Saints are on the back foot. I mean, look at Ricky. Ricky is down at least a wave. And then you've got, at least the ADCs are keeping up with each other. There is that. Mid is actually ahead, looking at items here, which is, well, items, looking at CS, which is good, but the wave is pushing into that Yone, so the Yone does have the advantage if you're looking at potential CS. So it's interesting to see how this one's playing out.
Yeah, Saints definitely did not start off on the front foot here, but there might be a fight happening on this scuttle in this server. Flocon does dodge that out. That's a very nice trade for the Viego. Mumu gonna go in on this Sejuani, but the Viego does have the first move here. Matty finds the stun. Flocon now looking to follow up. Does he have the flash? It's gonna be not flashed by the Amumu now. They have the possession. Can they look to roam balling here? The Amumu pickup could find a couple kills here. This Jhin is very, very far up. Does have the flash, but let's see if Flocon can force that one out here. Throws out the bandage. Doesn't find anything, but forces the Jhin to walk up, and the kill should be coming through. Nice knock up by Miracle, and they're gonna be able to find anything. Lig just looking to live here. 4-shot knocks him into Lig, but Lig still picks it up. Flocon
1
almost
HP.
hard trolling on that Alistar, but it works out in the end. Almost a solo kill for Ricula in the top lane. Will survive on 1 HP. This Udyr though will heal up, so complete crazy early game coming out from both teams.
Okay, the insane part about that was, if Jhin would have shot his 4th shot like a second earlier, he'd be dead. Because that would, like, the amount of health that he lived on was literally just the health regeneration from 1 second. That is insane. Wow. Okay. One way or the other, what happened, and somehow the Saints... Oh, no. Oh, no.
Sejuani is here to answer, though. Oh, my goodness, Matty missed the dash. His force flash. Flocon, though, is here on the flank. Let's see if he can find a stun onto this Amumu. Amumu actually going to look to try and trade the kill because he knows he's dead. Won't be able to find a Flocon. Picks up yet another kill. Now in a killing spree. He's just out-roaming this Yone in this early game.
Yeah, I mean, never thought I'd see that, but I guess, yeah, Viego does have relatively good roam considering he is a jungler. So here, the Saints actually making up for any deficit they had in the first 5 minutes here. They are back to pretty much equal in gold. I mean, not even 100 gold lead on the side of Maryville. So it's going to be interesting to see how they play this one. Already the Tiamat picked up by Viego. This Viego is 3-1. That is a very, very fed Viego. I mean, for the early game, this man has had a meal and a half.
Yeah, and he's going to be pretty fed with the solo XP. People just won't expect him to be as tanky and do as much damage as he does because he's going to be more ahead than he normally would be. But he's going to take a trade here in this mid lane. Can he dodge out the Q3 from Yone? Won't be thrown at all. Flocon winning these trades. Does have the Tiamat. Does get knocked up there a little bit, but Matty is coming to mid lane. Can they find a pick here? No ultimate yet for Maddie. So not the most pick, but looks like they're going to be playing for the top side Grubs.
Yeah, for Grubs, 100%. Grubs are just really good in their comp. They're going to have what is going to be a non-hit Varus, because you can see there's the PTA there. Plus, you've got the Viego too. So you've got at least 2 attack speed center champions that are good for those towers versus Maryville, who only has really the Yone. Jhin does not sync up well with those Grubbies. Neither does like a Mumu or Udyr. I mean, I guess Udyr does have a little bit of attack speed, but it's not that much. Although, speaking of Udyr, Udyr is absolutely dominating this wave. Look at this, 20 CS down for Ricky, and I mean, yeah, okay, there's a health deficit, but that health deficit's probably not going to translate.
And there's a fight in the bot lane. Lig is looking to hit at the Alistar. Alistar does have flash, so won't be able to find a kill there, but Maryville University definitely having a good start here in this bottom lane, but here is the Sejuani. They're going to flash straight into the Alistar, even though he has flash. Can they find the kill here? They should be able to find it. One more auto from Miracle will take him down. Lig is going to be able to stay alive on 1 HP, but has to be careful. Mumu coming in, who does have the ultimate ready, so the Yone's here as well, and they have to be careful with the Jhin. Does get popped. Maddie tanks 1, tanks a second. Here comes the Yone ultimate, hits onto 2, but they won't be able to find a kill. Gets your C-chain, and he's going to get taken down. Does find Lig on the trade, but Maddie and Miracle could maybe look to survive here. The Mumu will pick up Miracle from the look of things. One more auto. The Aura will take him down, and now Maddie in quite a tough position here will get killed by the Jhin.
Did smite the cannon though.
It's a great play for Maryville, but Saints, they get a couple kills in return.
Yeah, honestly, not too bad. Maryville does take the advantage, though. They are, about, what, 800 gold? 700, 800 gold in the lead, give or take. So it's not too bad for the Saints, but definitely at a disadvantage. So they're going to have to kind of play around that.
Flocon's in a bad position here. Alistar looking for something. He's just fighting back against the Yone. Does ult out. Is not going to get caught at any CC and is able to stay alive. Now Saints looking to find something on the trade. They did get the Grubs, and now it looks like Saints are going to try to get prior for this Dragon.
Yeah, that Unstoppable, though, using the ultimate to avoid the CC was very well executed. Ooh, hold on here.
Ooh, here's a fight. Alistar going to find the knock-up. Lig will get caught in the Mumu ultimate. This should be a clean wipe for Maryville. They find 1. They find Miracle as well. The flash over the wall by the Jhin picks up the 3rd kill. Was not a good fight by the Saints. Overextended very, very deeply, and they're going to pay very, very much for that play.
Yeah, most definitely the Saints are, they lost there. And that's going to extend Maryville's lead significantly here. The Saints are down to 2k gold. But to be fair, the placement of that gold is a lot more spread out when it comes to Maryville compared to the Saints. The Saints, all their gold is on the Viego. That's it. The Viego is the one with the gold, compared to Maryville, who kind of have a bigger split. But nonetheless, with the gold lead that is present, it's still absolutely horrible for the Saints right now.
Yeah, they're down 2,000 gold just off of that one play. They lose they don't lose the Dragon, actually, funny enough. Saints won't pick it up either, but looks like Maryville just chose to take their opportunity somewhere else, maybe some plates, push out a few waves. As Ricky has finally settled down in this top lane, is down 40 CS, which is not a good sign. Does not get the kill there. Like, looking for something in this bot lane. The Dragon will just not be started by anybody for the foreseeable future, and looks like maybe Saints might be setting up to play for 6 Grubs.
Yeah, to be fair, all right, let's not bash on Ricky a little too much. He is in a very, very losing matchup, and the fact that he is only 0-1 is very, very good. Being able to survive those losing matchups is insane.
Here comes the engage onto Lig. They get half of his HP of the cleanse. Forced out the ult, misses onto the Jhin. That could have very easily been a kill right there, but just unfortunate there. Now they're scared of getting dove. They're gonna ward up. Dive shouldn't come through, so they should be able to clear the way, but definitely a missed opportunity there for the Saints. You know, Miracle is definitely looking for this engage, but without the Bear, so it's gonna be very hard to find anything. No TPs coming through. There's no ward for Flocon to go on. As they're fighting in the mid lane, they only taken out to half HP. Grub spawning in just a second here. As Saints gonna look to fight this one, but Flocon half HP. Another play, it's going to go ball in here. The ult comes out from Amumu. Yone flashes, doesn't find the ultimate to Flocon. Great movement by him, but still, Amumu will find the kill onto the Sejuanian just before the objective spawns yet again. Saints members get picked out, get caught out. Now Miracle is going to be taken down here. Lig,
3.
they both need to dodge this 4 shot. They do manage to dodge it out, but still, they're going to be missing a wave and so much XP in this bot lane. No flash on the outside, won't find anything, but this is a great play from Maryville so far.
Yeah, I mean, missing that 4th shot was kind of unfortunate, but you know what? You can't hit them all. I would know I played Jhin a little too much. Here in the top lane, though, Ricky, for the matchup he is in, is doing not too bad. Honestly, he is surviving, and that's kind of his job. The rest of the grub's going to be picked up by Maryville's here, so we have a really even split between the grubs of 3 and 3. So nobody's going to be shredding towers too fast, but at the same time, it's going to be balanced. You got to watch out for your towers. Ooh, here. That is a
dive coming in top, and very easy there. There's a fight in the mid lane as well. They're looking to lock down this Alistar. He has ultimate though. It's going to be very hard to kill. They're going to still invest the ultimates coming out here. Can they find a Yone? Yes, they do. Give the shutdown over to this Viego and should get the second kill onto this Alistar. Can Flocon get it in the Viego ultimate? Yes, he does. Nice little interaction there. Double kill for the Viego. Now 5-0-1. He's going to be the sole carry for the Saints to bring them back into this game. As 1 HP onto this Jhin. Can he hit the arrow? Nice arrow there. Beautiful shot from Lig, picks up the shutdown, and maybe gives himself a chance in this bot lane.
All right, well, you know what? Winnable. Most of our gold, when it comes to the Saints, is on the Viego. And then you've got the Varus just kind of chilling. Varus is building Bork first item, which honestly is like a must, because when you look at it, right, Udyr, tank. Amumu, tank. Alistar, tank. Yone, dashes. So, I mean, you can't hit anything anyways. And then Jhin is just going to explode anyways. It doesn't really matter. So, all things considered, that Bork is going to be dealing a lot of damage now that he's purchased it. Other thing that's going to be absolutely massive is going to be that... oh god. The words evade me. It's the attack speed armor piercing. Or armor shred. That alternates between light and dark, and then whatever. It's an armor piercing one. Yeah, so that's probably going to be the next one that he goes for. Very important item to go for, because that's going to let you shred through those tanks a little bit faster, and it gives you a little bit of resistance, which is nice.
Speaking of strength to tanks, they're looking to shred through Zyko here on this Alistar. Has the ultimate pop, and now they have to be careful as the Mumu is here. It's going to be blocked, but the ultimate comes out from the Jhin. Look, going to get hit a couple times. 3rd shot misses, 4th shot looking to hit it here. Maddie falls in the process. Miracle being very careful here. The Jhin won't fire the 4th shot at all.
That's illegal. You can't do that.
Stun onto the Miracle, doesn't find it, but this Amumu has ultimate ready, and I think Lig and Miracle know that that's the case. Q misses one. Does he have the second one? The ultimate. Lig doesn't even flash. Miracle is going to find the ult alongside Lig. They're not going to find the shutdown on the Amumu. On Ignite will take down to 1 HP, but will live, and Jhin with the 4th shot will pick up Miracle. It's another huge win for Maryville as they extend their gold lead.
I forgive Jhin for not using the 4th shot of the ult, but like, if you're not gonna shoot it, you might as well just shoot it. It's there. You might as well shoot. It's not gonna hurt you. Plus, it helps you clear wave. It's pretty neat. I don't know. Personal opinion, but if you have 4 shots, use all 4 shots. Anyways, here, ooh, Ricky now in the mid lane, getting a lot of... Wow, that is a lot of damage coming from that Yone. Yone does have the Bork, which would explain a lot. Rod of Ages is picked up by Ricky though, so he does have that tankiness that will come eventually. You give it some time, although it is another item that was nerfed. So it's going to be interesting to see how this one plays out. A lot of these items, by the way, were nerfed this patch.
Yeah, and there's going to be a fight coming out here. Can Viego find that all-important reset on the Alistar? Does find it. This Yone TP'd very far in. Maddie chucks the ultimate at the Jhin, but they won't be able to find anything still. A very nice pick for the Saints. Should be able to rip Herald off of that one, and you can see when they find that opening pick onto the tank and then Flocon picks it up, it just makes it impossible for Maryville to walk, and Ricky will be forced to give up this top tier 2 as Saints look to get themselves back into this game.
Yeah, Ricky right now is just a punching bag. That is the extent of his job. Just tank and leave it at that. Make sure Viego gets his resets. Make sure Viego gets the gold. Well, that and Varus. Varus is kind of like the side thought. He's the middle child, but like the important middle child. You know, Viego's the main center of the attraction, and then there's Varus. There's Varus. He's important, but like not as important. And then everybody else just needs to protect those two. So yeah, gonna be interesting. Ooh, wait, maybe a Muma?
No, there's a Yone here, so Saints will back out. They were on a ward that entire time, and I don't think they knew it, as Saints just going to be dropping a lot of pressure. Prio in all three lanes right now for Maryville as they're pushing these waves out. Ricky can't do too much to stop the Olaf, but it is strong enough to the point where he can just clear the waves with relative ease, so that Udyr shouldn't be able to find too much up in his top, and his Flocon on his low, some defending his bombing.
Yep, so let's see how this one plays out. Ooh, Flocon? Okay, I thought they were going to dive him, but I guess not. To be fair, he is full health. So that would have probably been a bad idea, which is why I'm in silver. But yeah, here looking at just Ricky getting zoned off so much. Ricky is down an entire level, which at least the Rod of Ages is going to make up for once it finishes, which is nice. But down pretty much 60 CS. That is a lot of gold, which is surprising considering the fact that they both have the same amount of items. Well, actually, no, he's got an extra chain vest. Never mind.
They're going to be looking for a kill up here in this top lane. Ricky used the ult. No flash here for this Udyr. They can get the shutdown. It would be huge, but this Udyr is not going to be able to
What is this
take
healing?
down. Can they find one more combo here from Ricky? Should be able to do the job. There's the auto. There's the E. Maddie doing all he can against this Udyr. Even Miracle's going to come to the party. Ricky, good Q from there. A lot of healing coming out from this Udyr. They find the CC chain, and finally takes the shutdown. So not the best outcome there for the Saints, as well as not the champ you want the gold on, but out of those three champs, I don't think they really...
I mean, they're all tanks.
Yeah, they don't really care too much. I mean, it would probably be best...
It's an extra ruby crystal.
On the Gragas would have been best, but
true,
it is what it is. It is what it is. They get a kill.
Yeah, I mean, that was... Udyr doesn't die, does he? It's just not how he works. He just refuses to die. Man, literally too angry to die. But, I mean, I guess that's just how the champion works. He is kind of a tank hybrid. Something like that. I mean, he builds damage. Second item, Unending Despair, by the way. Kind of insane. Gonna let him heal up even more. Unending Despair did get a buff, actually. It has more armor now. But on the flip side, it also does not offer as much health. So and it scales with health, by the way, with the healing, which means that it won't be healing for as much. One thing that I kind of do find unfortunate is that we don't have any Heartsteel tanks. I love hearing the sound of Heartsteel, but unfortunately it's not very viable in higher levels. And Ricky here is in a little bit of a conundrum, going to be forced to flash over the tower, over the wall for that tower. It's not the best, but oh wait, hold on, that's Drag going to Maryville. Saints are down 5k gold.
Yeah, I mean, Maryville are doing a great job of pushing their advantage. Let's see if we can get a solo kill here. Flocon against Get Back on the Yone. Does not stop the Yone ultimate. And the Yone will just get out. If he was able to stop that one, maybe could have been a solo kill. But now Ricky in quite a pickle here. Does get rooted up by that somehow, and he will be more than dead. Jin will pick that one up. They are going to dive Yone on the flip side. They're going to drop the Riptail as well. So the Saints very well knew they were going for a split map still, and Ricky unfortunately does get caught out. And they do get a turret bot, a top lane turret. Won't fall as there's no wave, and looks like Saints actually will get a tier 2 off that play.
Yep, that Rift Herald actually having a lot of use out of it, which is nice. Ooh.
Oh, they missed everything. The cleanse was perfect from the Jin, and he's going to be able to survive. Definitely a pick the Saints could have gotten, but just unfortunate for them. Great movement from the Jin to survive there.
I mean, Jin is centered around that. Yeah, if you know how to use Jin's movement properly, you can kind of a lot of bad situations. Although here, looking at everything, just let's have a gander at the items. So Ricky's still just on that Roa with those Lucy boots. The Sejuani, Maddie picking up the Warmongs and the Zegas Convergence. So 2 items. Viego, most fed character on the Saints team right now, has 201 CS and a Strikebreaker plus Bork, We've got a Bork on the Varus, and then a Zeke's Convergence on the Rel. If we're looking at Maryville University here, we have a Leandri's Torment. Ooh, hold on here, there's a fight.
Mid lane, they do find the Alistar, but they missed the Viego W. You can see how tanky this Alistar is still. Should be able to find the kill here. No, won't be able to get it. And now the Saints have to be careful. Mumu gonna go in, finds the stun onto two. The Jin'll comes out. A lot of flash coming out. Jin shot misses one, missed the second. Miracle gets to the third. Ricky finds the flank onto the Jin though. Can they find the one shot on the Jin? They won't be able to find it. Stays alive on 1 HP still. Arisa gonna come through for the Viego. Ricky gonna go way too deep now. Will probably fall down. Because of that, the TP is going to come through, and it is the Udyr. They are very scared of him, not doing too much damage. You can see
he's basically
trying to
immortal.
do something, but in this meantime that the Saints are doing this play, Yone has been balling the entire time, collected a tier 2, a lot of waves, and he's going to be very, very fed. Boy, can he get this recall off? Doesn't look like he's going to be able to do so, but it's only Maddie here. Can't do too much. Now Flocon on the way. Does Maddie have the ultimate ready? Yes, he does. The TP is able to hit it here. It does find the stun, finds the slow. The flash comes out from the Yone. Can they find the kill? Yes, there's the ultimate. They should be able to find the kill here. Nice flash from Flocon. Stops that one, finds the kill there. Is 604. This Udyr is very deep in enemy territories, but I don't think Saints have the damage to kill him just yet.
I mean, Udyr is just immortal. That's what he is. He's immortal. He can't really kill much, but like he's immortal. But yeah, back to the items. So the Udyr has both a Leandri's and an Unending Despair, which is a combo of items that's just really strong on him. And ooh, wait, hold on, we got another fight here in the
Found the
mid lane.
Alistar again. He doesn't have ultimate, but they miss all their CC still. You can see how much damage that Viego is doing. 7-0 and 4 now has 3 full items, so he will be shredding. Now the Saints are looking to bring this game back, looking to start up that Baron still. Amumu is up here in this bush. They have no idea. One Amumu ult could spell a lot of trouble. Miracle does not ward the bright bush, only ward.
Wait, but Baron hand. They might know he's there because of the way the Baron.
No, he's there. The Amumu finds a stun onto the, and the Varus is going to be taken down early into this fight, but can they find a kill on Viego? Huge ult from Miracle. They don't have the Viego ult, but they do find the reset. Flocon is now on the Amumu, who is a very, very fed member. Finds the reset onto the Udyr, almost still on 1 HP. Zamuro will be able to stay alive. That flash was so crucial. Can Flocon turn this one? Let's see if he can turn around and find the one shot onto this Udyr. Will look for it. Will not be able to find it. Udyr just a little bit too fed, and the Saints fall like dominoes. 4 kills for Maryville. Now they're probably going to turn their sights to this Baron.
Yeah, definitely going to be looking at that Baron. 300 gold bounty going to that Udyr is not good for the Saints whatsoever. The Saints took a gamble here. They were down to 4k gold, and they said, you know what, we take Baron, we get Baron. If we fight, yeah, it's a 50-50. And they unfortunately lost that coin flip. So that means that Maryville is going to be reaping the rewards of that fight. Getting that Baron buff is going to be so crucial to this match. And here the Saints are basically just hoping to mitigate the damage as much as possible.
Yeah, and with that being said, they might find a pick here very quickly onto this Alistar. I think that's going to be an easy kill going over for them, so that's a great start to denying that Baron. But let's take a quick look at what happened in the last team fight. I think we're going to have a second here, so let's see what happened. It's going to be Lig getting cut out of position here, does get stunned up here, forced to cleanse early, and now can't do any damage. Actually, let's go right back to live. There's going to be another team fight going on here. Amumu will get stunned up, and the 4-man stun from Amumu. Can Viego find the reset on the Amumu? There it is. Yone finds a huge ultimate on the backline, finds a couple. 3 going to fall for the Saints, 4 going to fall. And it's going to be a clean ace for Maryville. Only 1 member dropping. They should be able to find this 5th one, and now they're going to take a lot of gold on the map. They're going to take this 3rd Dragon. Miracle does
That's not even
down,
4, just 1.
That was a great team fight for Maryville, as now they're up 8k gold and cruising to victory.
Yeah, here the Saints can't really do much. They're so far behind in terms of gold, and just like available damage is lacking when it comes to the Saints. They don't have anything that they can play off of when it comes to damage, aside from the Viego. Viego, good damage, but the Varus just gets stunned up too quickly, so he can't really do much. Of course, Ricky here is building some damage items, but it's mostly just so that he can have that ability haste so that he can play around it. Other than that, though, he's not really going to be... Oh, Maddie gets DC'd really quickly, but comes right back. A little bit of a riot moment, I guess. Little skirmish in the jungle here, but we all know Udyr is in fact unkillable, so there's no point in Maddie going with the emotes. I mean, hey, if you can't kill him, you gotta taunt him.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be hard for the Saints to find anything now in this game, and they're just down so much gold, 9k gold, and I mean, it's just a matter of time before Maryville run over them. They don't have the Baron. Oh, they still have the Baron for a tiny bit, but you have to think to yourself, they're taking the 3rd dragon right now. In about 5 minutes time, there's going to be either Soul Point or Baron up, and they're looking for another pick onto this Alistar. He's died 7 times this game, but it's always been with a lot of repercussions here. Saints usually fall afterwards, and you can see how long it takes to kill the Alistar. They don't find anything, use all their CC. Huge Amumu ult onto 3, Yone ult follows up, and there go the Saints. They're dropping like flies. Another few hits onto Ricky. Should be able to pick that one up. That's going to be 4 dead, and they have a wave top. They're going to send the Yone mid lane to stop Viego from backing here. The rest of the team will look for the end. Flocon isn't too worried about defending the base. He's going to push out that mid lane, but I don't think there's any way of him defending this one. You can see he's trying to get out. Does have the teleport ready, will choose to just back, but the Baron buff is still active for Maryville. They're going to look to walk into this base, and they have to end a little bit quickly. 10 seconds on the Saints carries. They will get 1 turret.
Viego got cancelled, by the way.
They can get the second. The TP is coming through from Viego. Can Yone stop that one? No, won't be able to do so. Saints still hanging on by a thread in this game. Miracle gonna look for the engage. The TP comes through. Can they find anything? On the initial, they find the reset onto Udyr. Flocon has to be careful here on this Udyr. Can he find anything more? Looks for the Yone. Takes him down to 1 HP. The kill comes through from Flocon. No, it doesn't. Yone able to stay alive, and is gonna be running for his life. Lig gets hit by the Amumu Q, and that's gonna be all show. Does go down. Jin with a double kill. Ricky won't be able to do too much under this turret. Will just get hit to this. Triple kill for the Jin, who's now 15, 2, and 13 on the game. Absolute monster performance from Maryville as they're going to take a lead in the series and go up 1-0.
Yep, 30-minute game, in and out, really quick, really clean. Maryville did this very, very well. 19-35 was just a well-played game for them. They have the gold advantage. They snowballed it. They played it well. And as we were kind of talking about when it comes to Maryville here, they're a really strong team and they're a challenge for the Saints, right? So the Saints need to learn how to adapt to this team and play into them. Well, to be fair, it's a new patch. Nobody's used to the items. So maybe limiting the amount of items that were affected by the patch as much as possible that you're using, and like the champions too, could be a good idea, right? You're just saying, okay, well, we know Strikebreaker got hit, so you know what? Just avoid it as much as possible and go for all the other items. The problem is there were so many items that got hit this split that you almost can't avoid it.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good try from the Saints, but Maryville definitely showing why they are one of the best teams in collegiate.
For sure.
They did have a few hiccups here and there. Saints made some few plays, but I feel like one thing you can definitely take from that game is the Saints that used way too much on the Alistar.
Yeah,
who was
for
just
sure.
tanking everything, and then they had no cooldowns for the fight. Amumu ultimates were just massive all around. Yone ultimates followed up, and the Jin was just free firing. So the comp played out really well for Maryville. Saints didn't usually find that opening pick for Viego. You can see the few team fights they did, they had a bit more success, but overall Maryville's draft was just a little bit better, and they were just smooth sailing that game.
Yeah. To be fair, I like the Viego pick. It was something different. It was something interesting. It was good cook, right? They were cooking. They said, okay, let's get in the kitchen. Let's see what we can make. They did some experimental cooking, and you know what? It didn't work. But from what I can tell, you could have replaced that Viego with a Yi or, I don't know, a Briar, and you would have had the same result. That comp was pretty much just a funnel comp. It was, okay, you know what? Viego is going to be our carry. If Viego fails, well, I mean, we're screwed.
And that's
right?
what happened.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. You could have had Yuumi ADC and you would have had the same thing, right? Because maybe, I don't know, the Yuumi is going to help Viego do better or something. Like, independently of what team comp you have, if you're going for funnel comp, it's the most basic. And don't get me wrong, Leonardo da Vinci did say that simplicity is the greatest form of sophistication. But at the end of the day, sometimes you got to go a little bit more sophisticated than a funnel comp because they're not all that effective.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a good try from the Saints, but they're definitely gonna have to turn things around for Game 2. But speaking of Game 2, we're going to be going to a quick break right before that happens. Don't go anywhere.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Game 2. Maryville versus St. Clair. This time the Saints are on the red side. Maryville going to take the blue side. Let's take a look at those bans. All right. On the side of Maryville University, they are banning out the Darius, the Garen, and the Vladimir. All those some pretty standardized top and mid picks getting banned out. The Yone, the Udyr, and the Avera is going to be banned out on the side of the Saints. So really interesting to see what Maryville is going to start off
And
with.
you can see Saints going for the red side, want that counter pick last. They don't want no Udyr into Gragas matchup again. Didn't work out for them last game, so they're going to give Ricky the counter pick this time. It's going to be Syndra. First pick, locked in mid lane. So Saints have some counters. You could see our mid laner can pick up anything. Viego, Akali. Let's see what the Saints decide to go for here.
Yeah, I wouldn't go Akali into Syndra. Just Syndra is very anti-assassin. The only assassin you can really play into her is Fizz. But it is going to be interesting to see what we see in the mid. Oh,
there you go.
Please don't do.
It's in.
It's in. Okay. Well, Akali into Syndra. Either this is going to go extremely well or extremely horribly, and that will all depend on whether Syndra plays with her W properly. If she just keeps the W for when Akali engages, Akali's not going to be able to play, and if she doesn't, Akali's going to have a field day. All right, here, Saints still picking up that Sejuani once again. The Renekton going to be picked up by Maryville for that top lane. So here we have two mid lane, a top lane, and a jungler being picked. Oh, wait, no, maybe not. Going for that Skarner. Oh.
Could be a flex pick. Could be played jungle or top lane. And against Sejuani in the jungle, Skarner's probably a pretty good matchup.
Pretty decent, yeah.
Tank against tank. Skarner has a little bit more CC with that ultimate and that E. So Maryville, a nice pickup there. And it's probably pretty good into a Akali melee range, into an assassin. Skarner's probably pretty good. So Maryville picking up some good choice here in the draft as now they have to pick between their ADC, their support, or their top laner.
Yeah, here the pick is kind of going to be hard. You don't want to show your... Okay, never mind. It is not going to be a Skarner top. It is, in fact, going to be Renekton top and Skarner in that jungle. So now, in the mid... on the side of St. Clair, they have their mid, they have their jungle, now they have the counter pick top, and this is kind of how you counter that whole giving your opponent the last pick, is you give them the last pick anyways, right? So that you can play something that counters in that bot lane or whatnot. Because here, having the last pick, what does it do? I mean, you already have the last pick, right? In the first 3 picks, you already picked top and mid. The 2 lanes where having that last pick or that counter pick is so important.
Yeah.
So they showed their hand, they showed their picks, they said, okay, you know what? Counter pick me. Go ahead. I dare you. And that's what they did here. We're going to see Ricky on the Aatrox. I am hoping to see some world-ending behavior of him.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, that Gragas was kind of pitiful. All right. Looking at the Braum, here is going to be the BAM for St. Clair. Kind of just goes to show what they want to do. They want to make sure that their ADC can get that damage down quickly. So probably going to go for more of an on-hit ADC. Reminder that lethal tempo is now back in the game. So it is active, but it isn't the old lethal tempo that we remember. It is now mostly an attack speed centered thing. Okay,
Yeah.
so the more attacks you place and the more attack speed you have, the more damage it deals. So no bonus range or anything like that. You're not going to be seeing ADCs kiting like crazy. It is a lot less dangerous than what it used to be. Here, the Null is going to be picked up by the Saints, so they want to keep that ADC pick for last, unless it's a Kali ADC or something, but I would be surprised. Please do not do that. If the Saints do that, that would be terrifying.
Kalista Renata.
Ooh, the Callista Renata. That is a pretty good combo. The Callista Renata is just like a generally used combo. Ooh, maybe the Leona instead. Leona, honestly, Leona and Nautilus is like a pretty good pick. And the Kai'Sa, yeah, of course. Kai'Sa Leona, just a really good combo. Pairs super well with Kai'Sa passive. You got those 2 CCs. The only better one to use would be Nautilus. but both are pretty much interchangeable. The only difference is Leona can go through waves, Nautilus can't really, and a little bit more shielding on Nautilus, I think.
I would have liked Tarek from Maryville here. I think it's just really
Tarek?
good. Tarek is so good into Nautilus. I don't know why nobody plays it, but it's going to be Aphelios picked up by the Saints. That is a
Whoa!
spicy, spicy pickup.
Wait, we're in college. Nobody here has a PhD. Are we allowed to play Aphelios?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure you need a PhD for that. Well, I mean, I guess we're about to find out who has a PhD. Because Aphelios is a champion that we haven't seen yet, and who is insanely difficult to play. And you usually see with enchanters, too. You don't see this guy hanging out with Nautilus. So the Aphelios, to be honest, it rounds off the comp really well. When played properly, Aphelios is probably going to absolutely dominate here. But again, picking Aphelios is basically saying, all right, if I know what I'm doing, you guys are all screwed. If I don't know what I'm doing, I'm going to go 0-15 by 3 minutes. Because that's pretty much just what Aphelios does. And getting a good hang of Aphelios is complicated. So we're going to see what happens.
Yeah, it's a scale-heavy comp here from the Saints.
For sure.
They have the Akali, who's going to be like pretty strong mid-early game. Falls off a bit late game, but
I mean,
if the Aphelios
depends.
makes it to that late game, Aphelios can definitely be the carry for this game, especially with so much tankiness on the side of Maryville. I think it's a good pickup for the Saints.
Yeah, it's going to be a question of can Aphelios manage his weapons well? And also, it's going to be a question of how are the fights going to play out, right? Because that Kaisa is going to want to get on the Aphelios as quick as possible, trying to eliminate him. And then the Akali is going to try and take out the Kaisa faster than the Kaisa can take out the Aphelios, which is going to be a really weird kind of assassination combo, but it's going to make sense, hopefully. So, yeah, Akali wanting to get into that backline is going to be interesting to see how she manages to do that. But, hey, you know what? I'm Silver. I don't need to imagine those things. They'll figure it out as they go. But one of the most important parts is probably going to have to be how they take a team fight. Because if you're going against an Aphelios with, the Infernum up, you don't want to take a team fight because that Moonlight Vigil is going to smoke your entire team before the fight even starts. So you can't be grouped up. But being grouped up means you can basically just do the whole ball of death thingy, where you just advance upon your enemy and they get shredded like a shredder. So it's kind of a weird balance between the two of, okay, well, we want to be grouped up because Kaisa just goes really well, and she has to be in basically melee range, right? She's got like, what, 525 range? Like, she's basically melee. So Kaisa's going to struggle to kind of get in there when you've got so much damage potential, and Aphelios is probably going to be running Cleanse on this one, 100%. Cleanse Flash. So that doesn't mean that the Aphelios doesn't have Ghost, though. And Ghost is very important on Aphelios because you can use it really well with the Severum. Severum and... what's the red one? No, red one is Severum. Yeah. Red one is Severum. So it goes very well with the Severum. So unfortunately not going to be able to play that one out unless he feels very, very brave with his movement and doesn't actually take the cleanse, but I would be surprised. But yeah, Aphelios without enchanters. I think this is the first time I've seen it.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely stronger with the enchanters, but I think the melee supports are just so prevalent right now. So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting game. It's gonna be I think Nautilus is more for the lane pick, and in the team fights, probably the enchanters are a little bit better. But for the lane, I think against probably an engaged support, going for that enchanter can be a little bit risky.
Yeah, for sure. It is a lot more dangerous. I mean, personally, I would have preferred seeing a Sona, but let's be honest, Sona's never going to exist in pro play anymore. So it is what it is. Well, unless, Ardent Sensor meta comes back. But let's be honest, that's not going to happen, and even then, Jean is better. So let's stop talking about old things that, let's be honest, were absolutely horrible. Ardent Sensor meta should stay in the gutter and never come back, please. But that Aatrox top pick is going to be really interesting because we've got two carry top laners, right? We've got the Aatrox and we've got the Renekton. Renekton into Aatrox is going to be interesting because they're both healing champions and they both love to do damage. So once one loses or like one misposition,
Yeah.
and you're just gonna have one just absolutely stomping the other one under his tower, and it's gonna be absolutely unplayable. So it's gonna be very, very interesting to see who makes that misstep first.
Absolutely. It's going to be important for Ricky up in that top lane to get the advantage early. Last game, he was so close to that solo kill, but you could see Udyr got one and just the snowball never stopped. This game,
It's Udyr.
if Ricky's on that side of the trade this time against Renekton and gets an early solo kill, gets him to lose a wave or two, and he's up like a level, would be huge for the Saints.
Oh, 100%.
And then he would definitely become their like mid-game carry as Aphelios scales, but it's going to be a lot needed from the Saints here to pull this one out. Another kind of interesting comp, going a bit off meta against Maryville, trying to spice something up. You see, the Viego did really good last game, but just the rest of the team wasn't up to par. This game, they have the Akali carry mid again, and now they have Ricky on something more carry as well on the Aatrox. So I think a bit of a better draft here in game 2 for the Saints.
Yeah, for sure. And you know what? I think this is kind of interesting because there isn't meta anymore, right? Because like Riot just changed everything. So by default, like the champions are the same, but the items they build are completely different, other than like what they actively do, right? Like Bork is still Bork, it just has 10 less AD. So everything just got nerfed so much that now everybody's like, okay, whoa, is it even worth it building items? Should I just go for levels? Like, what actually has value? Because now mana crystals are 350. Now they're 300. 300 gold for 300 mana. It's 1 gold per mana. So like, there's so many different mathematical equations that you need to start doing. Like, okay, is this actually efficient? Can I do this? What am I supposed to do in this situation? That you don't even know what you need to build on those champions anymore. I mean, Aatrox now has a health scaling on his passive for healing. Not his passive, but his other passive, his E passive, right? Now it has a health ratio, which means that technically, because items have more health, that does give them a little bit of an advantage and more healing, but at the same time, let's be honest, lethality Aatrox still slaps, right?
Yeah,
It's kind of just his thing. So is he going to go for that lethality Aatrox? Is he going to go for that, more tanky Aatrox build? Are we going to see a Heartsteel Aatrox? That'd be funny. But it's going to be interesting to see how this one plays out.
Yeah, and speaking of playing out, we're heading right into game. You could see all the players are ready to go. Last time Saints went for the invade onto the ball lane. Let's see what they decide to do in this level 1 invade. They have the chance to kill level 1, so any hook from Miracle could be dangerous. Looks like both teams going to sprint down mid as they might look for a flash hook. Does not land it. That's a bit of a egregious play
Yeah.
for Miracle, but won't be able to find anything with that flash hook.
So, just bringing your attention to the runes here, the Aphelios actually opting for the Conqueror, not the Lethal Tempo, is going to be an interesting pick. But other than that, though, some of the more interesting things to bring to your attention is Ricky's skin. Ricky has probably one of the best skins on Aatrox to ever come out. Like, look at this thing, all right? When you see the animations for Q1, 2, and 3, you will understand what I mean by this skin goes hard. Yeah. If Ricky is fed, okay, it is going to go crazy. That Q3 is going to be the most beautiful thing you have ever seen, on the condition that he is fed. But even then, just the animations in general on that skin are beautiful. I'm not telling you to buy the skin, don't give Riot your money, but the skin is great to look at, which is why we're watching it on stream. Alrighty, let's take a look at this laning phase here. Items picked up. Both tank junglers, unsurprisingly, picked the tank items. Ricky and Renekton here opting for that Doran's Blade. So again, just trying to be aggressive.
Has to fight very early on. Leg for so far out. Leona gonna look to flash. He lands that E. Leg has to be careful here. It's going to be very low HP, and it's a tragic start in the bot lane. But in the top lane, Ricky going to find the solo with one more auto attack. We spoke about how important the early game lead will be for either top lane or Ricky. It would find the solo kill level 1, and
on
that's
1 HP
great start for him up in that top lane.
See, this is payback. He said, all right, you know what? You won that one. I'm going to win the next one. And here, Ricky instantly TP's back to lane with an extra long sword and some healing pots, because he knows it's going to to be trouble. He knows that Renekton wants revenge, right? And here we can see it in the bot lane that Leona just in the bush, giving them like just pure fear, because you know the second that Leona goes in, that Aphelios is going to be having a very, very hard time.
Absolutely. Up in the top lane, the wave's going to be pushing into Ricky. He's going to be looking for another kill. Maddie is here. Can the bait from Ricky be enough? They do find the kill again onto the Renekton. Maddie picks it up. Ricky will be able to stay alive to collect this wave. It's an amazing start in the top lane, as the Renekton does not have flash, but he won't miss too much on that shove. Still, it's a great start for the Saints. Way better than last game. In the bot lane, it is a bit of a struggle, but a top lane is winning. But now the dive might be coming through from this car. He's going to drive onto this Aphelios and deny the Aphelios so much experience here. It's a great play from Maryville here.
He's going to kill him.
Forced to flash out and dies
the bleed
after hitting the auto attack onto the Skarner. That is a tragic, tragic start for the bot lane of the Saints. Miracle does get the whole wave, but it's not too good on your Nautilus, as your Aphelios now going to be on 7 HP against the 20 of Kai'Sa. Ricky has to be careful here up in the top lane. Will be able to get out of that trade, but won't be able to find anything back just yet.
Yep, he does have those refillables though, so it's going to let him kind of heal up. But what I realized is you don't actually get to see the hitbox for Qs on the Observer POV. So unfortunately, we do not get to see the beautiful Q3 the way that it lands, but we do get to see the animations, which go hard. Anyways, so here Akali kind of stuck in a position. The wave is pushing into her, but she can't really move up. It's not too bad though. Saints are at a disadvantage, but it's not much gold. Or actually, no, they're at. Yeah, they are at a disadvantage, about 200 gold. It's not much, but it is something here. Maddie coming in for the gank, gonna try and get some damage onto that Syndra, but not going to be able to manage anything, unfortunately.
Yeah, missed that slow, which means he can't follow up onto the Syndra. Could have been another kill for the Saints, but not going to find anything up there. Let's see what else can the Saints get done here. They are down 300 gold, which is not the best for them after such a strong start, but yeah, that Kai'Sa is going to be quite the problem in this game. Aatrox can look to take away the Scuttle, maybe. Fighting the Skarner does a little bit of damage, but maybe not enough.
Those animations
and now
are clean.
The Syndra is here. Ricky has to be careful here. Does have a lot of healing, but it's pretty early
He
in this
got the
game. They're going to look to fight this Syndra. The E hits Flocon. I don't think he can follow that one up. It would be dangerous. Ricky will be able to get out with his life, but still, in the meantime, now that Renekton gets free waves top in this entire time, and Ricky is going to miss quite a large amount.
Yeah, and he wasn't able to get the Scuttle, which is unfortunate, but you know what? It is what it is. Sometimes life happens. But here, Flocon finally gets some free farm away from the harassment of that Syndra. But this is what I was talking about, right? The Syndra is free farming, and Akali doesn't get as much. But surprisingly, Akali is ahead on CS, which isn't usually how it works. But hold on here, there's a gank in the bot lane.
And it looks like they're going to be able to find a kill onto Zyko here. The Ignite comes down onto Maddie, but Lig picks up his first kill of the game. That's a great way to get yourself back to the game if you're the Aphelios. Ricky down quite a big amount of XP up in this top lane. The dive is going to come through before he hits level 6. I don't know if they have the damage for this. Skarner misses the drive, and Ricky should be able to tank through this. Is on 1 HP, does actually get taken down. It's a beautifully executed dive from Maryville. Before Ricky hit level 6, they're able to go for it. Maddie looks for something on the Kai'Sa, does not find it. They want to dive this really badly, but Leona will be back just in time. So yet again, a great play from Maryville there. They find the dive onto top lane, and they're just finding the smallest of advantages in this game.
Yeah, and can I bring your attention to the way that Ricky played that dive? He tried to get his level 6. His Q2 went on that cannon minion to try and get it earlier, but he just didn't have enough XP to level up and get World Ender. Because if he would have had his ult, that dive would have played completely differently.
Yeah. And it was just great timing from Maryville. They knew that he needed a couple extra minions there to hit level 6, and they just in time dove that one, because as you said, if he got that World Ender, it would have been a very, very different outcome. The Void Grubs can get picked up here by Maryville as they look to take control of the map.
Yeah, Void Grubs aren't going to be as important on Maryville as they are on the Saints. That Aphelios is going to be able to get a lot of damage down very quickly. But the Kaisa, I mean, Kaisa does have a lot of attack speed, don't get me wrong, but compared to Aphelios, it is significantly less. So it's going to be interesting to see how this one plays out. But taking a look at that gold, Maryville is ahead about 1k gold, a little bit less than 1k gold. Make that 6k gold. Or 600 gold, not 6k. Oh boy. Here, Aatrox is going to fight in the top lane. Worldender is going to be popped.
He's looking for the solo kill here and should be able to find it. One more auto attack. Should do the trick. The flash comes through. It's going to be 1-for-1. He won't be able to survive in the end. I thought he might have been able to with that last second heal. But let's take a look at the fight in the bot lane. Lig looks to do a lot of damage on Sophia. It's completely untouched. It's looking good for the Saints. Zyko getting taken down to 1 HP and the kill won't come through. Just not enough damage for the Aphelios. And you have to wonder if he was just a little bit more fed on this Aphelios, if that would have killed. Still, the Skarner is here. They have to be careful not to walk up too far here. As the Skarner is going to look for the drive, but the counter gank is here from the Sejuani. It's going to be this Skarner backing up, and now it's going to be Maddie maybe looking for something on this Kaisa, but Kaisa has ultimate up, has barrier up. I just don't think the Saints have enough damage to kill her under this turret.
No, definitely not. The Saints do not have the damage. Lig just does not I mean, that one pickaxe is not going to be enough damage. The boots aren't even there yet, but you know what? Ricky's not doing too bad, all things considered. Did get the trade, is a little bit behind on CS, but compared to Renekton is significant. Ooh, hold on here, there's a fight in bot lane.
Oh, it's gonna land onto the Kaisa. The hook lands from Miracle. They should be able to find that one in just a second. The kill should go to Aphelios. Miracle does take it with the ignite, but Lig is slowing down. Nice little hook there from Zyko. Gets a trade onto Miracle, but still, this kill should go over to Lig. A nice little 2-for-1 there for the Saints as they're finding some life in this game through this bot lane.
Yup, here, that Renekton matchup is relatively hard. What I'm surprised is nobody went for some anti-heal. Ooh, wait, hold on. Ball lane.
Oh, there won't be a kill here.
Maybe?
I don't think so. Too tanky. Yuji
This boy's got
has
damage.
the ultimate. Will he choose to use it? Yes, he does. Maddie flashes away. No harm, no foul, as the Skarner ultimate gets used there.
Worldender.
For the solo kill here. Ricky has the ultimate.
Those
The ultimate gets popped by the Renekton. But look how much the Renekton's playing on the edge here. Knows his limits perfectly. Holds that W till the very last second alongside the Q. Ricky gets solo killed again. And now this Renekton's going to be absolutely massive in this top lane.
Yep. That is the kill that lost Ricky the lane, okay? Just watch it now. Now Ricky cannot match this Renekton in lane. Purely due to the fact that Renekton has the advantage in CS, he's equal in kills, and that XP advantage is on him too. Here in the bot lane, we've got something going on. Well, more like the bot jungle.
Yeah, a little skirmish going on, but no fight gonna happen there. Dragon is up, but it is warded by Maryville University. And it looks like Saints just gonna be playing regular lanes, not trying to push the jungle objectives too quickly here. Gonna have Prio in the bot lane, Grub spawning in less than a minute here, 22 seconds. Maryville did get the first 3, so Saints gonna look to deny that, but with this drag up, I think Maryville might just look to split them out.
Yeah, they're probably going to look for those extra grubbies and going to give the drag over. To be fair, it's the first dragon, and those grubbies are going to be a little bit more valuable. Ricky here just trying to get as much CS as he can without having to deal with that Renekton. Ooh, balling here.
The hook lands, a bit of damage going to come through from Lig, but not enough to kill anything. But now the Sejuani here, they might look to dive this. Kaisa, TP comes through, Kaisa dodges the ultimate. The Leona will get one shot, does get taken down. Syndra finds the stun, can she find the counter miracle? Yes, she does. Now a 2v3 situation here for Maryville University. Saints going to be able to find a kill, but Ricky going to get solo killed by this Renekton up in the top lane yet again. The Grub's going to go over to Yuji as well. In the grand scheme of things, this is looking very, very good for Maryville.
Yeah, so as I was saying, Renekton has the advantage now. He's got that Stride Breaker. Aatrox has the Eclipse, but believe it or not, the Eclipse is more expensive and has less AD now because of this patch. So it's going to be a lot harder to actually get stuff done. Heartsteel picked up by the Skarner, so we will be hearing those very satisfying pings. Oh wait, hold on, hear it?
Doink.
Oh, perfect. All right.
Another one?
Another one?
They're just
Maybe?
giving it to him, I don't know.
Neuron activation as a tank player.
And the fight mid is huge. 3-man stun by the Skarner. Maddie gonna get taken down. Kaisa is here for the follow-up. Another Heartsteel proc. Nautilus will be forced to flash. Saints getting caught yet again. Grouped up a little bit too much as Lig's gonna get solo killed on the side lane by Get Back. Now they're looking to dive with the Skarner. Don't find it onto Nautilus, but Skarner is tanking absolutely everything. They're going very, very deep for this. They find the Nautilus. It's just a Kali under tower. Everyone lives from Maryville. Saints are just completely falling apart on the map.
Yeah, Saints are not having a good time this match. This might just be a 2-0 against the Saints for Maryville. And it's just, it's kind of tragic because the Saints, they tried very, very well, but they couldn't find it. Man, those animations are clean. Holy smokes. Like, I have not seen Riot go this hard on a skin. Like, even the $500 skin for Ari was like, okay, yeah, it's decent. This is just like Aatrox going hard for no reason whatsoever. Like, it's a standard skin, and they were like, yeah, you know what? Give them the hardest animations you have ever seen for no reason. Just, we felt like it. I don't think they pay their animators enough. This is what happens when you pay your animators properly. Alrighty, let's look at this. Ooh, green and white up and running.
Yeah,
That's a deadly combo.
But to this Renekton, it's not the most deadly. He's up 3k gold on Ricky in this top laner matchup, and even though they're so close on CS, gold-wise, it is a complete disaster. This Renekton is going to be close to unkillable as soon as he gets this Sterax, and they're looking for the chase. The Stride Breaker hits. Miracle will try and hook away, but how far can he get? Yes, gonna get out. There's a pink ward that Maryville does take out. Let's see if they look for the dive here. Will they stop the Aphelios recall? I think they'll be able to see it just in time. Will they be able to find their stop? Yes, they will, and the kill comes through on the Kaisa. In the mid lane, though, Flocon gonna look for a solo kill, doesn't land the E. The ult still goes onto this Syndra. Can he find it? Ult 2 won't be there. Get Back. He's able to stay alive. He hit that E. Maybe it would have been a chance there, but look, the back end gets stopped there by the Skarner and Saints. Down 6k gold. Need to get something going.
Well, I have to say I am very happy that we had the Neuron Activation Heartsteel ping this round. It is very nice to have the Heartsteel. As somebody who has played Cho'Gath a little bit too much, I have become very addicted to it. Oh god. Oh no, poor Ricky.
That's not a good flash. Ricky's gonna try something, a desperation play, but he will get cut down. This Renekton is a huge, huge problem, and there's just nothing Ricky can do at this point in the game to slow him down. The flash comes through from the Aphelios, does stun up the Syndra. Syndra has no ultimate. Miracle gonna hook in. That was not the right direction to go. They're gonna find Maddie on the backline. Lig is free hitting onto Zyko here, but on the flip side, this Kaisa is gonna go back in onto the Aphelios. Aphelios finds the Leona, but is gonna get taken down by the Kaisa. The ult hits onto Maddie. They should be able to find that kills while the Heartsteel proc helps out with that. Now that's 96 stacks for this Skarner and a lot of kills on the side of Maryville.
Yeah, this is not ideal. I'm gonna be completely honest. Flocon hasn't died, but hasn't gotten any kills, and when you're playing a snowball-y champion like Akali, you need to get those kills. So the fact that he's just breaking even, partially, isn't good. You really want to get ahead. Aatrox, I can see it. Aatrox has really good scaling, but even then, he's very, very far behind, so Ricky's having a really bad time. And wait, no.
Kali does get caught out. That hook almost hit the Syndra, but the stun will come through. Let's see if the Sejuani ultimate will go in. No, it won't. Maryville are able to just walk out. They do pick up the Rift Herald in the meantime. Dragon's up in 40 seconds. You could say Maryville are going to be setting up for it, but Aphelios does find the pick onto the Kaiser here, who has a barrier and the flash. Aphelios does get pushed by the Leona, and it's going to be the flash forced out here by the Kaisa. Takes a bit of time, but now Lig might be a little bit too far up. His flash does himself. The stun comes through from Renekton. The two-man Leona ulted, followed up by the Syndra. It's so much damage from Maryville. Maddie's going to fall down as well. The chase is coming through now. Can Maryville find anything else? It looks like Saints will be able to get out, but you can see in these team fights, Renekton just goes onto the Aphelios. Nobody can stop him, and it's just basically unplayable for the Saints as they're down 10k gold.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of saw it, what the problem was there. Leona got the Q off, and that was instantly cleansed by the Aphelios, right? So what happens is Renekton says, hey, yo, wait, hold on. You're telling me your ADC doesn't have cleanse and is low? Say less, and just dashes through everybody, stuns the ADC, and then one-shots them, because that's what bruisers do, right? So it's kind of important to keep in mind that, like, you need to use your cleanse at the right time, and even if you would have cleansed that stun from Renekton, same result. You still have an ADC who's low and who doesn't have flash available, you're going to get one shot anyways. That's kind of the problem. That's why you want those enchanters with the Aphelios, right? Because you want to be able to have, you know, a wild growth or some healing from a Sona or a Lulu, right? So that you can actually stay in the fight and not just get one shot. But unfortunately, the drafts are the drafts. You can't really do much about that. Ooh, hold on here.
It's going to be a fight in this top lane, and it's going to be a very hard overposition here from the side of Maryville. Saints looking to find something. Flocon is on the backside, but there goes Sejuani. Flocon does find a kill on the Syndra, but does get taken down, shut down. Still going over to the Saints. It's not the worst case scenario. Aphelios will be hitting mid-turret in the meantime, and Ricky is down there in the bot lane just free farming from the look of things. So in the grand scheme of things, a little bit of a good play from the Saints. They find a bit of poke onto this Kai'Sa. W is dodged out. If that one hit, would have been danger levels for the Aphelios as the chase down is coming through. Leona ult hits. The Q hits from Lig, though, will force out this Kai'Sa very, very far. She won't be able to go in here as the Leona's looking to 1v1 the Aphelios. There goes the Kai'Sa ultimate. They should be able to find the kill here as the barrier comes through. Leona does pick it up. Nice little drive there from this corner. He's just playing for stacks at this point. I don't think these two can kill him, but they will give him the Heartsteel stacks. Miracle will get taken down very, very low, but now in the base is this Skarner. How tanky can he be? Will get all the stacks he can right before he dies. Another shutdown going over. Ricky gonna pick this one up as Maryville have a huge lead, but you know, one play at a time, they're throwing it away.
Yeah, Heartsteel has brought tank players to places that they would not go with an entire team behind them, alright? You need to get that Heartsteel stack. I know it's not worth much, but like, the ping of Heartsteel stacks is like a grand ping, okay? You can't just not do it.
They find the Renekton up in this top, and it's a hefty shutdown going over to the Saints if they can pick it up. Ricky gonna look to find that one. Another huge shutdown for Ricky. Still's gonna be down 2,000 gold, but definitely a way for Saints to get back into this one. If Ricky can get a couple more big shutdowns, some waves, and really scale up, he can become a demon in these team fights.
Yeah, I mean, Aatrox could be the deciding factor, but Aatrox needs to be able to live to actually deal that damage. So it's going to all depend on what items he's actually able to get himself. I mean, I would recommend maybe a Death's Dance or something like that, but again, it's just a question of what can you buy that's going to give you that enough AD to actually be a threat, but enough tankiness that you're not just going to instantly get popped. Right? And knowing that balance is very difficult.
And there's a fight in the top lane. Ricky looking to find the Kai'Sa here, does get taken down. Baron did just spawn up a Kali ball lane. I think we might see a Baron start from Maryville University here, but they're going to look for the fight mid instead. Zyko, he lands this hook onto Miracle. Could be Raps, does not find it there, so Saints going to be able to stay alive here. This mid lane do get the mid push, and Maryville will not start up the Baron. Ricky has TP. Actually, they will start up the Baron. With this 2-item Kai'Sa, they do it insanely quickly. Let's see how Saints decide to play the retake here. Maddie gonna be frontlining Zyko, gonna eat absolutely nothing. The Renekton going in deep. The Leona ult is pretty big, but the backline of Saints is still alive, but the front line is getting absolutely melted. There goes one kill to the Renekton. Akali trying to do everything she can. Flocon cannot do more in his team fight. Finds the Leona. So much damage from the Aphelios. The ult did miss, but so much damage coming through. Ricky now on the Aatrox finds a knock-up onto Renekton. Into the Rift Herald goes the Renekton. Does not die there, otherwise would have been very dead. And Saints, even though they're down 7k gold, come out relatively ahead in that team fight.
Wait, I need a replay on how he got into that Rift Herald. What? Did they just spawn in the Rift Herald so that he had a way out?
I think so.
I mean, that is a mechanical level that I cannot comprehend. I didn't even see that. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, Renekton. Oh, wait, Aphelios. Funny scaling amounts.
And there's going to be a shutdown going over to Ricky. The Apelio is going to get caught out. Will be able to stay alive on 1 HP, but does go down. Flocon going to find a kill on the other side. Renekton now in the 1v3 on the top lane. Can they find this Renekton? No, he's going to take down the Akali, and I don't think they have the damage to take him down here without the Aphelios. This Renekton is just too damn fed. Triple kill going over to Zambudo. Will look for the Quadra. Does find the Strikebreaker slow on to Miracle. Should be able to pick this one up with relative ease, I believe. The Q comes through. The Leona ult comes through. That's a Quadra kill, unofficial. But now on the flip side, Ricky gonna look to find this kill onto the Sinja. Won't be able to find it. There goes the ace to Maryville, and that Renekton just a little bit too fed for the Saints to deal with.
Just a little fed.
Yeah, on that Steerax just becomes basically unkillable, and now after maybe a bit of a chance for Saints to come back, Maryville put their foot down and find the teamfight win.
All right, so I have to bring your attention to this Aatrox build, all right? So this is, in fact, a lethality Aatrox. So he has that Profane Hydra. So he is opting for that more damage-oriented build versus that tankiness build, which, to be fair, is a little bit better if you want to lay down that damage. But when you're behind, it's really, really hard to play that lethality Aatrox because you don't have enough time to press down on that lethality, right? Your lethality only applies as many times as you can attack. And oh, hold on here, top jungle, a little bit of a skirmish going on.
The hit lands onto the Akali, but they don't follow up just yet. You know Maryville want to start up this Baron badly, not even close to soul point for either team. The Dragon is up, but neither team is looking for the Renekton, just looking to one-shot Miracle here. The Kai'Sa W does land. This Renekton is just so tanky as Maddie does get taken out. Kai'Sa flies into the backline, and it's going to be 4 quick kills for Maryville. Renekton, yet another triple kill. As
Yikes.
now Maryville going to look to push out this top lane. They might just look to end the game off here. I don't think the Saints can defend this one. Ricky will try and back and do something. He is on 3 items, but I think one stun and Ricky will get completely annihilated. Let's see how Maryville
Well, he does have the Edge of Night to get rid of one stun.
He does, but he doesn't get his back off, unfortunately, and that's going to be all she wrote for the Saints. The turrets are just getting smacked around. They're going to be able to find the second one in just a second here. Let's see how they decide to close out the game here. The auto comes in onto the Leona. Nautilus has to be careful. He has to hook out. The Saints maybe still have a bit of a life here. That's 2-man stun from the Syndra will keep them alive, as I think the Saints won't be able to find any picks here. Maryville just running for their lives, but with an open Nexus.
And Ricky's still getting chased.
Minutes into the game, Ricky's just running for his life from the Skarner, but Skarner won't let him be. Look at the damage coming out there from both the Kai'Sa and the Syndra. Ignite on Flocon kills him. Down goes Sejuani, down goes Aphelios, and
over.
the Saints are dropping like flies. Another 4 for all. Ricky just trying to get back to the base. Will be able to do so in just a second, but just like that, the game is over, and Maryville take the series 2-0.
And look at how fast that Aatrox just disappears. This is a 3-item Aatrox, right? And this is kind of what I was talking about with that. You need to balance that bruiser build versus that lethality build, right? You don't know how it's going to play out, right? You play all these champions, but at the end of the day, all the items just change, so you don't know which one's actually strong, which one's part of the meta, which one isn't. So it's a huge change, and like you need to adapt to it. But if you haven't played, you know, like all the games that you possibly could since the patch because you have a life, it's a lot harder. And even then, even if you did that, you still wouldn't have the time to understand the patch completely, right? So just being able to say, okay, well, you know what? I kind of feel comfortable with this champion. I remember lethality was pretty high, so let's try that one out. And then you start playing, and you're like, oh, I'm not dealing as much damage anymore. Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, it was a great performance from Maryville, to be fair. They do take the series too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Pretty dominant fashion, showing why they are at the top of the top, and Saints just not up for the battle tonight. They fall 2-0. Had some wacky drafts, a lot to improve on. I think they had some bright spots. Even when they were down a lot of gold, were able to pull off a few picks in here and there. So I think they're going to be happy with the fact that even when behind, they still gave it their all, but just was not enough for them today.
Yeah, and you know what? You win some, you lose some. But the best part is, every time you lose, it's a win because you get to learn what you did wrong. Unless you're me, I just do the same thing again. The force of habit, I guess. But you get to learn what you did wrong, and you get to improve on it, right? That's why the replay system works. And you know what? We just had a patch, so those replays are going to be available for the next, like, 2 weeks. or until you just play 20 games and it disappears if you didn't save it. So they're going to have a lot of time for.
All right, and that's going to be it for us today. So let's say thanks to our sponsors. We have Alienware, Tim Hortons, Subway, St. Clair SRC, and the St. Clair Alumni Association. Thank you to everyone in the back who made this stream possible. Every time we stream, Dan's back there. We have the Neil today. We have our observers. We have everyone who makes the stream possible. Thank you very much to them for that. Tomorrow, we have Call of Duty coming up against Fisher College at 8:30 p.m. That's going to be an exciting matchup, so don't miss that. I've been your host, Theo, joined by Gabriel. Thank you guys for watching, and have a good night.